What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our now second episode of this podcast that we just kind of threw together, where we just kind of randomly DM some race car drivers, see who responds, and see what happens. So, our guest today for episode number two, he is off the track, a MMA fighter occasionally, but on the racetrack, which is why we're here. He does some part-time ARCA racing nowadays. A former full-time ARCA Menard Series competitor, where he won 3 races in his time in ARCA, and is not just an ARCA race winner. He is the 2014 ARCA Menard Series champion. It is truly insane to me that we got an ARCA champion on here just for episode 2. So, uh, without further ado, from West Des Moines, Iowa, Mason Mitchell is our guest today. Mason, thank you so much for coming out and doing this. And
Yeah,
how are you doing today?
yeah, no, I thanks for reaching out. And
Yeah,
sorry it took a little bit of time to get back to me. I don't check the messages too often, but then
no, you're.
obviously it was a request and this and that. So
Mhm.
uh glad to do it. And obviously you being here in Iowa,
Yeah,
would do it in a heartbeat. So for
yeah.
sure.
All right. Well, thank you very much. It means a lot.
Yeah.
So, of course, the topic here at hand is mostly racing. So, I want to start things off with you and getting your start involved with racing. What was that kind of like for you?
Yeah, it's a little foggy because I was so young, but I as a kid just always loved racing from motocross, supercross, watching it. Grew up a huge Jeremy McGrath fan, and then I loved watching NASCAR. My grandpa on my mom's side was a huge Dale Earnhardt Sr. fan, and always been at their house watching on TV. There's a video of me. I My mom has, or we all have actually, but I'm probably maybe 5 years old, and I'm on the couch playing, and then it turns and you see the TV set, and it's at Watkins Glen, the Cup cars and stuff. So just grew up as a fan watching, and then one day my dad showed up with a little motorcycle. I was 5 or 6, and that's when it all started. So started racing dirt bikes, and then ventured into smaller cars called mini cups, then late models, then the Arthur route.
Yeah. So, when you got to the ARCA series, you made your own team, Mason Mitchell Motorsports. How did that really kind of come about of making your own team?
Yeah, I so when I debuted in ARCA in 2012, I raced for Eddie Sharp, had some really good runs and experiences and stuff, but um, we ended up racing in 2013 for two separate teams, and just had a mixed bag of results and stuff. Had some good runs, and then showed a lot of promise there towards the end. But just through all the experiences of running for different teams, there was just little things that were missing. From before that, I always raced for myself, um, and we just kind of analyzed the situations and the opportunities and what options were out there, and um, just the mindset I have, the mindset that my family have, and the people around me. I just We're very like driven and passionate individuals, and um, there's only one way to do things, and it's like the right way. So we just decided there, probably October, November, is a really late decision to just start our own team, and
Mhm.
we barely made it to the Daytona test that year with a car. We had to do a lot of work actually at the track because they weren't too happy with it. But at the first handful of races, we didn't even have a backup car. We built mostly all new stuff, and having to get guys to come join the team and believe in what we're trying to do and accomplish
Mhm.
was really tough. I mean, I was fortunate to build some relationships prior to that. My best friend Tyler Mon was one of the first employees who is the spotter for Kyle Larson nowadays, and he was there on the ground floor with us. I mean, all nighters all the time, 24/7. We were building just to get where we were. So that's where it all kind of started from, and um, some long nights, but it was definitely worth it.
Yeah. And after, well, so in 2014, ran the full ARCA season, ended up winning the championship. How much did that really do for you personally in terms of like racing and your career there, and also just for the team in general?
Yeah, I think I've thought about this a lot over the years since. I mean, for me personally, my own personal life, it meant a lot to me.
Mhm.
As far as my racing career, I mean, let's be honest, it really didn't do a heck of a lot because I wasn't really racing after that, which is, unfortunate. That's
Mhm.
the way the system is. But I'm not gonna, have a pity party by any means because that's just is what it is. So personally, it was great. It was a huge accomplishment and proving what we could do and stuff, and proving that I have the ability to win races and championships, and everybody on the team could as well. But Tyler and I and a few other close friends over the years have really discussed like that what we accomplished at like that level. ARCA, it is a national touring series, and you're traveling cross country, and what it takes a lot to do. And what we did, and this is not to pat myself on the back. This is for all the individuals that helped along the way and worked for the team, and the guys and gals that were there. Is what we were able to do within November 2013. I mean, less than 11 months, really, from having nothing
Mhm.
to getting a car. And our first car was an old ZEI Michael Ultra super speedway car. We redid that thing. Chassis 994. So, but what we were able to accomplish in that more time, and the obstacles that we had to overcome, and from people thinking it was a joke to thinking, okay, and then like showing up the track every week as a threat to win races, lead laps, and stuff, and winning a race and winning the championship. It's never been done, and I don't know if it ever will be done because
Mhm.
just what it takes. I mean, there's people that start up teams, but they are not successful right out of the gate. They're not winning championships, and I mean, there's teams that still haven't won championships, and there's successful teams that took years and decades to win championships. So I'm just super proud of that for sure, and really proud of like just the effort from my family to my friends to every single employee that we had along the way. That it was a huge accomplishment. I want every single one of them to be really, really proud because that was not an easy task, and not many people can do that.
Yeah. And also, like you were talking about, 2015 didn't end up racing full time, only on a part time basis, but still you were up there trying to win races and did win races. What was really the factor that made you go to part time that year?
I mean, the easy answer, I guess, would be this, the funding aspect of it, transitioning a little bit with there were some things in the works of opportunities and doing it as far as driving more, but never nothing just really shook out that much. Uh, and then we had the opportunity with Austin racing for our team and stuff, and we were able to still piece some races together. And like you said, I mean, we were I don't know, I raced 6 or 7 times that year. We were fast everywhere, led laps a lot of places, and won at Iowa and Kansas. But yeah, it was just in the sponsorship side of the thing, and then just slowly transition into the ownership aspect and growing the business of it.
Yeah. And you briefly mentioned that Iowa race win in 2015. I gotta know, how much did that win mean to you or do for you personally, considering that you are from West Des Moines?
Oh yeah, I mean that was it's tough to like the championship is like that. You're always a champion, and you're whenever you introduce the champion, blah 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 blah, and
Mhm.
that's so important. I would take championships. I would rather be like a consistent couple win a year type driver and have 10 championships than someone that has 100 wins and zero or one. But that Iowa Speedway win was just as important, if not more important, because it's my home track, and having raced there before and not doing well, but having friends and family and just the whole thing and how it all happened with we were quite frankly terrible that night, and just kept working on it, gritty, 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 and last lap pass, and it just was like a storybook type of a race ending and stuff. So I would love to do it again because it's been so long now. But yeah, that was such an amazing night of filled emotions, and we still talk about it to this day all the time.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of mad that I was not there for that one. I started going to every race at Iowa Speedway starting the year after in
Ah,
2016, so I missed it by a year. And I'm always rooting for the Iowan drivers too. So
yeah, yeah, no, it was a really good one.
yeah, got to see Brett Moffitt win there a couple times, but
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah. And as I was kind of looking at the stats of you and your racing career, there was something that kind of jumped out to me. You had one Truck Series start in 2014 at Homestead, and it was with your own team, Mason Mitchell Motorsports. But that was the only race that that team ever had. So I gotta know the story behind that. Like what happened there with that one-off truck start?
So it was kind of a I don't want to say joint effort, but we had the truck was from BKR at the
Okay.
time, and but we had our some of our own crew and some people that they sourced out as well. So we worked with those folks a little bit. It was an okay situation, not the perfect situation by any means. We were we should have, should have, would have, could have. We ran decent all night. I think like around the 12th spot. We just um, some mistakes on my end, some mistakes on pit road, and this and that, and then this situation overall. But yeah, and so this is one of those deals. But I personally don't have any interest in truck racing. I mean, maybe that'll shoot myself in the foot if I say that. But I'm just such a huge fan of the ARCA racing. Of course, I want some things changed and more horsepower and some stuff like that where it used to be. But and I love the O'Reilly series right now too. I think the car is phenomenal. But yeah, so I don't think you'll see me in a truck unless something happens differently. But yeah.
Uh, it's a little. I know it's obviously different trucks, but you did own a dirt truck team at one point. So, what what's kind of the status with that and
Yeah,
how that's going?
I guess that's a truck too. Well, technically, a good friend of mine since I was a little kid, Lou Seipel, it was the owner of the truck, and he is a local TV broadcaster here and on radio as well for forever, and he's given me um, a lot of opportunities on the air. But he's owned a dirt truck team there for I don't know how long, 20, 30 years or something. But unfortunately, that series. Uh, 2024 was its last season. But yeah, no, we in 2022, yeah, we all him and I always talk, and he talked about wanting me to drive one of his trucks at a race. I think it was Marshalltown, and so I did it. It was the weirdest experience, not weird, but like it was just a crazy experience. I've raced dirt on ARCA, but this thing drove not even close. And I think we had a mechanical failure that I had to pull off in the main, and then I'm like, okay, I know what. Um, sorry if this is at a call. Uh,
You're all good.
Um, we went back and raced the next or a couple weeks later and stuff. Got that fixed and ended up finishing second. And it was like, oh my gosh, we have like a lot of momentum. The truck was just kind of thrown together at the time. So during the whole off season, me and a good friend of mine up here, and then a guy that used to work for our ARCA team out in North Carolina, he would fly up on the weekends for probably like 6 weekends straight. And we did basically what we would do on the ARCA side. I mean, we took that thing down to the stock chassis, sandblasted it, rebuilt it up. I mean, this truck was beautiful when it was done, and of course, did some tricks of the trade of how we wanted it to work and stuff. And barely made it to the first race. First race, kind of everything that could go wrong went wrong. We still finished sixth, and then we went and tested after that. And after that test, like we were like we the truck to beat every week. I think we won 7 races that week or that year out of like 13 or something. Um, yeah, we had some stupid like penalty one time that kept us out of the championship. It was kind of ridiculous, but
What was that penalty?
um, so the engines run on alcohol,
Okay.
and you have to run an additive in there for the carburation, for the carburetor and the fuel system. Um, to keep it like lubricated essentially because the alcohol like dries it out real quick and stuff. Well, certain additives turn a fuel sample test a different color, and it doesn't matter. It's the way the rule was written, and it doesn't matter if it's not performance enhancing or not. If it changes the color, like we went down, like protested it and everything, and proved the point, like this was not performance enhancing, and it didn't. But it all it did was just change the color, and it was a product that they've used for years. And I don't know the way it all happened at this particular race, and yada 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 yada. I'm like, it's what it is. But that happened, and it was just enough to not win the championship. But look, I mean, everybody knew who the truck to beat was every weekend. I mean, we came. Some of the races were pure domination, and we had a lot of fun. I mean, I enjoyed it, and we did it in 24. We 24, we won the race. Didn't have that great of a year. I mean, we were decent, but we had some mechanical gremlins basically that we fought, and then I was focusing more on some ARCA racing stuff. But no, we had a good time, and I might do some more local dirt racing here in the future too. I mean, I enjoy it. It's so affordable to do, and
Yeah.
you can. I mean, here in Iowa, as you probably like you can race
There's
anywhere all the
yeah,
time.
we have the most racetracks per capita of any state, so
Yeah, it's like
there's
one per 4 counties, I think, or
I
something
know
like.
there's plenty of them.
Yeah.
Um, did you because I was at both of the NASCAR truck races at Knoxville, and I'm pretty sure for both of them they had dirt truck racing like before that. It's like the were you in that at all or no?
No, that was I think that was the year, but the last one was the year before I
Okay.
helped or started or whatever. I was there though. I spotted for Timmy Hill
Oh, nice.
one of the times. Yeah, it was a fun experience on the
Yeah.
backstretch. Um, but no, I never. I mean, we raced there then in 23 and 24. We won there in 23. That was a crazy, exciting finish too. But
Mhm.
yeah, that was cool.
Kind of jumping on that since you were a spotter for Timmy Hill, I didn't know that. But what did you think about the truck races at Knoxville? This is a topic that I really am kind of quite fascinated with because I think as someone who was there in person, I feel like the races were really good if you were there and watching them in person. But on TV, like I know a lot of people who said, these races were terrible. We need them gone. So
Yeah,
what did you think?
I think it's just like a product. Like, yeah, I didn't mind it. It's just like these vehicles probably don't belong on dirt. Like I think it's
Mm,
just a product of that. Like it's a big, heavy truck arm style truck chassis and that like they're not dirt cars. So that's just the way the product is, and that's what we're gonna get. So yeah, I thought the experiment was cool. Like ARCA still goes to dirt, and it's what it. I mean, I don't mind it. We have the track record, so at Springfield, I love the dirt racing, but um, that's not gonna hurt my feelings if they don't race dirt. I always joke with dirt people that dirt's meant for farming, but that's just a mess around.
um, So kind of jumping to maybe the darker side of the race team, what happened to end Mason Mitchell Motorsports?
It was purely a decision, myself made. I, I mean, at the end of the day, I did not get into it to be a long-term driver development team and be doing that whole shtick that a lot of them do. And some of them do really well, some of them enjoy it, and they hard feelings. But I got into racing to race for myself, to be a successful race car driver and follow my dreams. And then it kind of turned into something else, and did that for the time, and just got reached a point where didn't want to do it anymore. Had a few conversations with people, and tried to end it the simplest and least um, damaging way. I wanted to make sure we took care of some guys on the team and stuff like that, and whatever. But I was pretty fortunate how it all ended, like pretty quick. Sold stuff and moved on. But yeah.
Then whenever you did win a race or whenever you do win races, you're everyone's kind of got their thing for their celebration. For you, it's that Superman shirt they have underneath your fire suit. So how did that kind of start and why do that?
Well, it started from the first time. I think it was just there's not any like sentimental story. I
Yeah.
I like being unique and charismatic and doing your own thing. I mean, that is just what grinds my gears when I watch races now and watch,
Oh,
back then, like these guys are just so vanilla and boring. I'm like,
they're just
dude,
so
you're
PR
getting,
trained.
yeah, you're getting to
Yeah.
live a dream, brother, and like show some character, show some emotion and stuff.
Mhm.
So like that's just part of it. And like I felt like too when you won, you just accomplished some like superhuman type. Like it took like
Yeah.
a lot of strength and power. Just wanted to do that, and like all the team was doing it. So
Hmm.
yeah, we'll always do that. We did that in the dirt stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that could get me on a whole nother rant of just yeah, these guys, man. It's just like you won a race, and they're like, yeah, man, I'd just like to thank my sponsors. And I'm like, dude, I'd be
Right.
jumping off the car. And
Oh,
all of
yeah.
our celebrations were crazy, big burnouts and
Yeah.
stuff. And even in like when we win dirt races, it's the same thing. The hat
Yeah.
dance and woo and like going crazy. And um, but I think it's the difference between like truly loving it and uh, liking it. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and also I feel like some people, this might just be like me from an outsider's perspective, but I feel like some people or some drivers, they're just kind of like born into it.
Hmm.
And for them, it might not be like as exciting as someone who's really had to work exceptionally hard to get to that point of winning a race, like someone like you might have had.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, like I grew up as a huge Jeff Gordon fan, and he was always really passionate in his
Hmm.
interview and victory celebrations and stuff. But like, I mean, this past weekend, like, let's be honest, are all the winners I don't really remember. But the excitement level just isn't there. And I'm just like
Yeah.
so frustrating to watch. But yeah, so but there's definitely still some drivers that get excited
Hmm.
and emotional stuff, which I think that's great. I want we need more of that. We need to
Yeah.
be themselves and get out there and express themselves.
Yeah, for sure. And this was something that you also kind of touched on earlier with like the current state of the ARCA series. So, as someone like yourself who was kind of around ARCA when it was, a really good and competitive series, I want to kind of get your take of what you think like the state of ARCA is today and the competition levels and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay. I think there's some things that it's probably been influenced by NASCAR, but I mean, from a performance side of it, that I think it would help the series is, I mean, the horsepower has been cut dramatically from back when I raced, and even from the early days in 15 with the Elmore product. That engine's capable of 750 horsepower. And I think we're like in the high fives or something like that. It's crazy. I mean, we're at Madison and so many short tracks where like you just map the thing to the gas. And I'm like, this is not how it should be. You should
Yeah.
be able to burn the tires off things, spin them and stuff. Because the problem too is like it creates really bad habits for drivers and stuff when they move on up, and you don't really get to learn to like take care of your stuff and manipulate the car in different ways and take care of your tires and this and that. It's just like grab and go. You're just
Yeah.
pointing the steering wheel, jabbing, and it's harder. It makes it way harder to pass. And so it's just like we're not that would make the on track product so much better. I mean, I don't think you have to do a lot at like the intermediate packages. You always ran kind of a tapered spacer and stuff, but um, that would help it a lot. I wish they would bring live pit stops back, at least at the companion races or the big tracks. I've talked to them about it. Just that was why I got into ARCA. It's like, man, because I was like, okay, is it going to be the K&N E Series or is it ARCA? And it's like, it was no brainer ARCA. We had big high horsepower cars, live pit stops, radial tire, and there's a few other things, and the TV schedule and stuff helped too. And that develops me so much. Like you're supposed to develop in this series and mess up on pit road, um, which I learned that one time. I was Speedway. It was in 2012 at East Sharp. I kind of slid in the box. I didn't go through it, but I slid, and it was too close on the left side, so I had to come back around. Last pit
Wow.
road mistake I ever made. Never had a pit road speeding penalty too. I'm really proud about that. I would, and
Wow.
I would do really well on pit road, but yeah, just trying to pat my back. So yeah, like all those things you develop, and now you see these guys and they make all these mistakes and stuff, and it's embarrassing on Friday and Saturday and stuff. And it's like, if we had a system in place that we
Right.
did,
You could learn.
uh, yeah, and they all use the COVID excuse, which is just a total. crap, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, oh, we got to save these teams money out of that. Well, I hate to break it to you, but these teams aren't charging any less money than what they were then. So you're
Mm,
actually just hurting the client, which is the driver. And
yeah,
um, you know, yeah, I could probably understand now that we need live pit stops at Berlin and the dirt tracks. Probably not. It's pretty dangerous on pit road. It's kind of crazy even think we did it for so long. But yeah, I mean Iowa, Daytona, Talladega, Chicago,
like if they have a
are-
pit road, why not?
yeah, and um do them, and it adds more strategy and these stage breaks of it just there's no strategy like back in the day. You had guys that would put their fours on before their two at a short track and charge their
Mhm.
field, and then they never got a caution. They would win the race. And there's so many different ways to do it. And if you're a little off, you could do strategy like that. But now it's such a fixed thing that definitely think there could be some adjustments, pretty simple adjustments.
Yeah,
Um,
because I kind of,
but, I mean, the testing policy. I mean, it's a development series again. Why
mhm,
are we not letting
yeah,
people go test? They're like people are going to spend money regardless wherever it's at. If it's going to be in sim, if it's going to be in wind tunnel, if it's going to be in data, this and that. So by again, it's some mythical thing of trying to save the little guys or teams money on testing, but it's like you're not. You're hurting them more because they're sure as hell ain't going to spend money on that other stuff. And if they could have went to a test or something, or had a driver come in and pay for that team to go to a test, um, it would help that team. It also help that driver. You can go test, but it's only at tracks that you don't race at. Well, okay, what the hell is that doing for you? I mean, yeah, a little bit of seat time, but we need to be, dude. When we won the championship, I mean, we basically this is another like feat of like everything we accomplished that year. We ran basically a cup schedule with the amount of races we did and testing we did. It ended up being a cup schedule because um, we were just like relentless at it. We wanted to get really really good, and we knew we had to work on it. I needed to work on stuff as a driver. Every time we tested, I'm practicing restarts. I'm doing this and that, and obviously fine tuning our setups and cars and stuff. So um, different times.
yeah. I like how you mentioned that with the strategy too, because I remember the last year that live pit stops were a thing in ARCA. It was a Michigan race. I think it was like Ty Majeski. He had like a 20-second lead or something over Michael Self, but then ran out of gas on the last lap in the final
Yep.
turn, and Michael Self just runs right by him and passes him. And every time I
Yep.
watch that back, I'm like, well, I guess we're never getting that again. So
No, I know.
yeah, it's unfortunate.
No.
But are there something else I wanted to know? Are there any drivers kind of lower in the ranks, like Arca or anything else lower in the ranks that have kind of caught your eye of someone who you're interested to see move up?
Um, Gosh, I would need to look at like a list right now. This is so good to me.
You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah, I could be like, no, I think they're all terrible, but no. Um, yeah, I mean, he's obviously proved himself time and time again. Corey Haim, I think, is actually the real deal. Does a really good job, and the biggest thing I like about him, I don't even know him that well, really. I've seen him in passing, but um, it's not even his ability on the track and the success on the track. It's what I've picked up on outside of the track is he's not involved necessarily too much with the drama and the gossip groups and the friend groups that can deter your career and stuff. And that's the big thing about racing is like everybody's out in Charlotte, and you got to be really careful because you can get it pulled into certain directions that are not going to be helpful for your life, personal career or career. It's just like sending a kid off to college or something and getting surrounded by the wrong people. I mean, so I think he's handled that really well, and he's like has a good head on his shoulders. But yeah, no, I mean, um, I raced. I think I raced Sprint Cruise a little bit last year. He got some speed and obviously showed it at Rockingham. But yeah, I think I don't know. Mason Mitchell in the right situation, nobody's stopping him.
Yeah. I think something else with Corey Haim that I like about him is that he really just kind of stays out of trouble. Like there's really no beef that he has with anyone. I know Ty Gibbs when they were in the ARCA series together, they did kind of hate each other, but I feel like
Yeah,
that's over time that's kind of gone down a little bit. So that's good.
yeah.
Then I mentioned this in the intro that you are also occasional an MMA fighter. So how in the world did you get involved with that? And just for some of us who might not be like myself, self-admittedly, who might not know a whole lot about fighting, what is MMA, and then just how did you get involved with that?
Yeah, so actually I'm wearing this
Mm-hmm.
is the I train the Absolute Combat League. I don't you know, I did compete in my fight the one time and then actively trained for a long time. I'm in and out of training right now. I mean, I
Okay.
work out. My physical fitness training is every day. I take that really serious and my nutrition and stuff. But like as far as mixed martial arts training, I'm in and out of that right now. Um, One, because the gym that I was training at forever did shut down. So thinking about switching them up. But um it was just like one of those periods in my life. It was after racing full time and stuff. Well, I mean, it happened when I moved back. I moved back here to West Des Moines in 2018, and then I've always loved. Well, I always liked. I do love it now. Like combat sports and I mean just action in general. But like watch some boxing events and some UFC stuff. I started to become more of a fan in like the later part of like McGregor era, like 2016, 2017, and I remember being at Road America watching him box Floyd Mayweather. But so I started like watching and stuff, and me and my buddies would always joke around and like wrestle and stuff. And I was a huge WWE fan growing up too. Once in a while, I still watch that, but then just went through some other stuff in life personally, and it was 2021. Yeah, towards the end of 2021. Um, a lot of 2021 actually. I just had these. I'm like, man, I want to like learn another skill set of like boxing or something. And then through some connections, I reached out to this one gym and it was MMA gym and like we trained it all, kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai. We did wrestling, jiu-jitsu, non-gi, gi. Well, yeah, I mean everything to make a complete fighter. And so I joined November of 21 with no intentions to fight. I mean, I would always mess around, but then I'm doing it for a couple months. Went to a couple local shows here, and I'm like, dude, this is the coolest shit ever. Like, just you're walking out to a song, you got people
Yeah.
like going crazy for you, and then you're locked in this cage and whatever. And I am not like I try to tell people, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Like, I didn't grow up like
Yeah.
brawling in the schoolyard or anything, and this and that. But I, yeah. So then we kept training, and then I got with the coach, and it was like 6 months later we got talking to I'm like, man, I want to like actually compete in like for a fight. And so we put like kind of a camp together and I mean I was there every day, twice a day, sometimes three times a day. So it was like in the morning and the evening and then on Wednesdays it was in the middle. We had 3 days, we had three classes on Wednesday because it was like a pro practice. So I'm going there with like pro guys. Some of them are under contract with like Bellator, UFC and stuff. And I'm just getting my ass whooped. But it was great and I didn't want to do like a kickboxing match or just jujitsu. Like I wanted like a full MMA cage fight. That way I could use all skill sets necessary to because some are better, like some more strengths in certain aspects and stuff. So yeah, that happened in November of 2022. It's called the Thanksgiving Throwdown. Midwest Cage Championships was the promotion here locally. It was at the Valor Ballroom.
Okay.
It was, dude, it was electric. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy. Place was packed. I had a ton of friends and family. Tyler came into town, my buddy Harrison. I had so many people there. And then yeah, we got in the cage, I locked the door, and I'm like, holy shit, this is the real
Yeah.
deal. Like, and this dude's gonna try to kill me. But yeah. And it was a 3 round, it's 3 rounds, 3 minutes each scheduled fight. But it only went like 2 minutes 42 seconds something in the first round. I ended up winning by TKO,
Got it.
this technical knockout that the ref stopped it just because he couldn't defend himself anymore. But yeah, it was a good one. We got did a little stand up, and I got to we got him. Took him down to the ground where I wanted to be, and then got in good positions, and it was just ground and pound stuff, and finished it, and that was like one of the craziest highs too. Like getting on the cage, I did the
Yeah.
Superman thing, and just the emotions of that, and then we had had all my friends and family there. We had a really fun time, and it was right at Thanksgiving, a couple days, like a day before. Or no, yeah, it was Wednesday, the day before, and so, but like that whole process though, really like just opened my mind up to so many things in life and how to address things that gave me way more confidence now. Like racing, dude. Like I don't give if somebody gave me a hard time, I'd just smack them around a little bit. Like I'm not too worried about. But and like nutrition and this and that, and I mean, I fought at 145. I walk around at 170. So going through that like cutting process of making weight was just a whole new eye opener. I'm day of weigh-ins. I'm in a sauna, just dying, like cutting 2 more pounds. I'm like, oh my god. And Tyler was there with me because he used to wrestle in high school and stuff, so he went through the whole weight cutting process
Okay.
too. And I'm just like, dude, I just want to get to the scale. And then you're like you have an AIDS, and it's a brutal process. But I've always too like people a couple people have asked me like what's harder, racing or fighting, and there's two answers, but I lean towards racing harder because not obviously not from a physical aspect, like the training and what it takes to be in a fight shape and fight. There's nothing harder than that, but people don't realize that like in fighting you just focus on the one guy. Racing, dude, there's so
So
many
much around
things
you.
that you have to focus on, but then there's so many things you don't even get control.
Yeah.
You know, you're focusing on doing your best ability as drive. You gotta sorry, my phone keeps
You're
but
all
you
good.
gotta control, your steering, your gas, your brake, your shifting. You're looking around, checking out your mirrors all the time. You're getting the right angles and approaches, and it's a whole geometrical like math equation just going like this all the time. And then you got your spot in your ear and crew chief in your ear. Then there's the things that aren't under your control. When's a caution going to fly? Is somebody else going to make just an asinine move? Where what mechanical issue can I have? And
Your pit
all the. I mean,
stops.
there's just so much more components that that's why I think it's harder. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's way harder to win for
Yeah.
sure. Um, but there's nothing like the physicality for
Yeah.
sure of fighting. But anyways, I just went on a tangent.
No, that was great. Because like you said, I think racing, like it is obviously a team sport. Like everyone just thinks, oh, well, it's just the driver, but it's everyone who is involved, with the crew, setting up the car, pit crew, spotters, all that. So it's a lot more than just yourself. And I kind of
Mm-hmm.
feel that myself because like I'm a runner, and so like when you're doing a race like that, that's more of you just versus yourself more than anything. I
Yep.
think. Like of course
Yeah.
you're racing other people, but really it's just you versus your own mind and how
Yep.
much you can do there. So,
Yep.
uh, do you have any plans to fight anytime soon, or?
I doubt it. I always joke around with family and stuff, and that yeah, I might do another one.
Mhm.
And especially when I go and watch them, I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
like it gives me an itch. And especially when I see, I'm like, similar weight class, I'm like, oh man, I could like totally, get in there and finish this right. And but I doubt it unless I get this weird itch of a bug of like needing a reason to do it. The only really reason I did it before was to like just another like feather to the cap, challenge to myself, prove to myself, and prove to people that like I could fight and win. I don't know, because growing up, like there was people for sure that would like say stuff, and so um that was part of the reason. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I doubt it. Um, at least not professionally, but if you got a altercation on the racetrack or gonna defend yourself, I mean,
count me
let's
in.
go. Bring it on.
As
I
far as
think that would be fun. Like, let's get them. Like,
yeah,
I would be down for that. Like, if another driver wanted to actually schedule something like professionally,
yeah,
um, we
why
could put that
bring them
together.
on? Yeah, I think that's something that we need to have at racetracks. I think this is something anytime there's a fight in a race that this is something that's brought up. We just need to throw like a big boxing ring or something out in the racetrack and just
Yeah,
let the drivers handle it themselves.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, like, or at least have hockey rules. Once one goes down, then
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. There you go.
Like,
Uh, do you have any racing plans for 2026 or anything soon then?
yeah, no, I'm actually gonna take the year off in 26.
Okay.
Just wanted to, I hate to say the regroup excuse, but just wanted to reevaluate, regroup. I got some ideas, and well, I know what I want to be doing and where I'm headed and stuff, but um, I'm just really determined that when I do race again, I want to be in the right situation, right opportunity, right everything to go and compete to win races. So I mean, and that's not excluding the possibility of doing my own thing again. Just so I mean, I think all options are for sure on the table, but I will be racing again, yeah, and I'm not worried about my age or this or that. Like the goal, I truly want to be back racing full time. I want to win another ring for sure. I love the ARCA racing so much.
Yeah. And then I've just got like two more questions here, but this is the question that everyone in the state of Iowa always wants to know. Biggest question in the state of Iowa: are you a Cyclone or are you a Hawkeye?
Um, Probably lean towards the Hawks.
Okay.
I mean, I want to see all Iowa sports do well,
Yeah,
but
it's a
you
fair
know, I
take.
wear a Hawkeye hat more often and probably cheer for them a little bit more.
Hmm.
Well, since a little salty at the clones with Matt Campbell leaving, you know
Yeah.
what the
Yep. Not ideal.
so yeah, no, I'll cheer on another 10-win season in Iowa, and we'll
Yeah.
defense in the games.
I'm I'm in a Cyclone family, so and I always try and
I was
root
wondering
for
about saying clones, so yeah, yeah.
yeah. And whenever there's a race going on, I always root for all the drivers from Iowa. And I was at that Iowa race last year for the ARCA series, and when I saw you come out and drive introductions, I saw the Iowa hat. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can cheer for this anymore.
Yeah. I just feel like it's more recognizable for people to be like, oh, that's Iowa. Like if I
Yeah,
wore a cyclone hat, I don't know. That's more so why I do it. I mean, I like them
yeah,
both. Probably lean towards, like I said, Hawkeyes, but I just think it's more recognizable hat for people to see than
yeah.
um I had the Iowa flag though, so
Unfortunately, I think that's a fair take. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
What are you going to do? And then something else that I want to do with this podcast, just having it is crazy of just, randomly DMing drivers and seeing what happens. But I also, no matter who we get on, I try and want to, shed a light on just the good within the racing community and all that's happening there. So the last question I usually like to ask or want to ask every time is if you could say one thing to the entire world, like one message to everyone in the world, what would that message be?
As far as like racing, or what do you mean?
Could just be like racing or just a message to like benefit society or whatever.
Yeah, I think you know times are always evolving and changing, and it's a fast paced life. Um, if you let it be, and I think this is more like maybe on the macro level and just life in general, but um, I think if everybody just realizes like it's gonna be all right, and if there's light at the end of the tunnel, keep pushing. And I think there's a lot of things that we get ourselves involved in and let other things control our thoughts and actions and stuff. Where if we really think about it, like we really don't have much control of anything, and most of the stuff that we get all worried about really doesn't matter. And we just take care of ourselves, take care of the loved ones and families, and do good. You get good. Um, I don't know. That's what I would suggest
Yeah,
to do, and people do, and um, you know, just need more kindness in the
yeah,
world and more authentic. And but work hard, chase your dreams, especially when you're young
Hmm.
and in your 20s and teens, or I mean, even like in your 30s and 40s. Like people, like sometimes you got to reset and adjust and stuff. You know, I've got a buddy that worked at a job for 10 years and got let go, and then he started up his own thing last fall, and he is crushing it. So
Yeah.
it's just like there's thing everything happens for a reason, for
Yep.
sure. Sometimes we don't know if that reason's for we won't know if the reason happened, for a day, a couple years, or maybe at some point in the afterlife, or whatever. But there is a reason why all this stuff happens, and just do your best every single day. I was watching a video the other day, and a guy was like offering this guy, like, how happy would you be if you got like $5 million right now? And it's like, oh, I maybe ecstatic, right? Blah blah blah. And what about $100 million? Yeah, of course, it'd be crazy.
Mhm.
It's like, but what if you got that $100 million and you wouldn't wake up tomorrow? How would you still take the money? And like, no one would take it.
No.
So it's like, okay, why aren't you waking up every day now with that same excitement of receiving that money, knowing that the time is more valuable than that money? So I think like that hit me like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like I need to like, you
Here,
know, enjoy it,
just hearing you say that, it's like, whoa, like that hits deep.
It is like,
Yeah.
and like really like sometimes I get like I have so much going on with my life of like my business and real estate and family and this and that. But there's ups and downs, of course, but I'm like, man, like I'm actually okay. Like I'm great. Like like you have to get this gratitude approach. Like I'm healthy, I'm in good shape. I get to eat what I want, but I eat well. Um, I'm doing okay. I got a house over my head. I get to take a hot shower, and it's like, and there's so many people in this world that like they're they don't have shit really. It's like, man, like it's okay. And yeah,
Well, I think that's some great words, and I think that's a great spot to end this episode. So, to all the viewers out there, our next episode we have another very special guest lined up. We're not going to be telling you who it is, though. If you want to find out, I will put my Twitter up here, and I will be giving like hints throughout the week as to who that is. So stay tuned. And yeah, to all the viewers, thank you so much for your time and thank you for tuning in. And thank you, Mason, again for coming and agreeing to do this. It's absolutely awesome to have you on here and super, super blessed to be able to do this with you. So,
anytime. Appreciate it.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Mason, and we'll see you around. And yeah.